It's time. Please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Does anyone have any items they'd like to have removed from the consent agenda? Okay, moving on to item number 4, the fiscal business.
Yes, sir. I passed out a couple handouts for you today to give you an idea of the building project. What you have before you is a spreadsheet that shows the two different methodologies that we looked at. We didn't want to just go with one way. We wanted to look at the possibility of doing a lease agreement through PFIC and then standard bond financing through the Port Authority. So what you're seeing is here is the two different possibilities based on 3 different types of amortization. So you're looking at if we were to finance the entire $7 million or to pay down a little bit, down to $5.7 million for borrowing. And looking at the spreadsheet, you'll see that the lowest cost of money for the particular project that we're looking at is a 20-year amortization with a call option in 2029. That's the one that I would recommend to the board to go ahead and proceed and move forward with that particular one that has the lowest cost of money of all the particular options. And if the board has any questions on that matter, I'd be happy to talk about that now.
Your recommendation is borrowing the 5.7
for 20 years. That's the lowest cost of money. It's an all-in true interest cost of around 3.09%. And it won't get any cheaper than that. Now we try to beat up the port to get a few points off of them, but I don't know. We'll do our best. Well, no questions. That's
A lot to digest.
well, you know, this isn't the final decision. You know, we still have legislation that we have to pass, and certainly think about it, take it home, digest it, and if you have any questions, Matt or I will be more than happy to answer them. There's more than one way to skin a particular cat, and honestly, we need to get this done, and it's not going to get any better for us. It'll just cost more money down the road.
Not going to get cheaper, that's
No,
for sure.
it is not going to get cheaper. All right, well,
Okay, all right.
then the next thing on the list for me tonight is to do our quarterly transfer of the interest from the general fund. It's Resolution 5232, and it's ready for your action, sir.
Okay. Is there, does anyone have any questions about 5232? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsfall.
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard.
Yay.
Mr. Wood.
Yay.
That's it, sir.
Very good, thank you, Russ. I'm sure we'll be back to your questions.
Oh, that's good. That's what I like to hear.
The public comment. Okay, good with that. New Business Administration, Resolution 5233, declaring the necessity to levy taxes in excess of the 10 mil limitation. Matt?
This is our procedural redux. Thank you to the Board of Elections. We did not accept our original resolution. It's a resolution of necessity, but I broke it down so there's no question here. If you have any questions, we'll try to answer.
Anybody have any questions? I think we all knew this was coming for 5233. Is there a motion to approve 5233?
So moved.
Mr. Gabbard.
Yay.
Mr. Mearsfall.
Yay.
Mr. Wade.
Yay. And then we have 5234.
Yeah, this is a request of the county auditor to certify the value again. So basically, they'll just be reissuing this the same paper that they did before, with an updated date on it, and dispense with the second reading and declare an emergency on this one.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve 5234?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsfall.
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard.
Yay.
Mr. Wade.
Yay. And 5235, a resolution dealing with our sharing funds of the Corona Relief Distribution.
Yeah, the state, the feds passed it through the state to the county and the auditor of the county. It's who gets to distribute it. It's based on the local LDF distribution percentage. We stand to receive about $330,000 as part of the CARES Act. The main source of expense that it's attributable to, per the guidance from the CARES Act, is for it's assumed that first responders' personnel costs, salary, is presumed to be an expense related to coronavirus relief. So we need to pass the resolution to ask the county auditor for the money that we are to get.
Anybody have any questions for Matt about 5235?
Just one comment on that too, is that we will be creating a separate new fund to put this federal money into. That's part of the legislation.
That's required by the act itself. You can't commingle this money because you have to track it.
And then when you do this, will it go back to the first responders fund?
We'll receive them into the CARES fund, and then there will be an expense out of that fund that will be a revenue to the other funds.
Okay, happy to have the money, just make it complicated. Is there a motion to approve 5235?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yay.
Thank you.
Okay. Planning and zoning, we have resolution 5236.
Yes, sir.
So these properties historically have been underneath one ownership. They've now sold in 2020 into multiple ownerships. During the time in which Jack Stofstad owned it, he would typically mow Memorial Day, 4th of July, and Labor Day. So these individuals have not mowed since they've taken over in 2020, so it's time to give them a letter and have that discussion. So that's what you have before.
Anybody have any questions for Jeff for 5236? Motion to approve.
So moved.
Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard? Mr. Wood?
Yeah. And then we have item 2, the recommendation to set a public hearing for Monday, August 13th.
Yes, so at 5:30, if you're available, this is a stage 1 request for the property north of Lane Creek Patio on CR 48, requesting storage facility. So if you have the availability, we'll set the public hearing.
So I get that's August 10th at 5:30. Is there a motion to set this public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
That all you got?
That's all I have, sir. Thank you.
Road and Park, we have resolution 5237, resolution accepting public streets for maintenance in the villages of Winding Creek.
Yeah, Scott did the punch out last week with the county and found everything to be more or less acceptable. You got one discussion with Lance about that?
Yeah, they've repaired some curbs and still got to backfill a little bit of dirt behind the curb repairs, but I've talked to Lance and they'll get it taken care of. We've done that before. I trust that he'll get it done.
Okay. And this also dispenses with the second reading.
Yes.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved. Second?
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yeah. Anything else on the road department?
Yeah, we just, the street sweeping crew came through and did the street sweeping for us. And then I finished the grading the roads. Just finished these today, so I got a copy here for you.
Good.
Don't knock your head, bang your head into the wall too much trying to look for them, because they're not in alphabetical order. They're done by plats and subdivisions, otherwise, on my end, I'm gonna bang my head into the wall trying to find them when I'm in a subdivision, so. But there's the numbers that we have up here in the right corner. Not as bad as I thought. But, if you have any questions, I can answer them, but basically did them as we run our plow, snow routes and stuff like that to do them as we're in there. And they're our roads compared against our roads. If you were to take R1 and go to another city, it would probably be a 2 or 3, or however they would do theirs. These are our roads against our roads, because it's the only way to really do it, to know what we'd have to look at for next year when we do them, so.
Right. Makes sense. Anybody have any questions at this time, or it's another one we'll have to take a look at?
Another question, I've gotten several people from Sycamore Trails reach out to me over the last few years. Is that entire neighborhood under concrete? Is it?
For the most part, yeah. If you drive through there, you'll see where the curbs aren't there anymore. And I know that, well, it was before my time, but Mr. Wade was here, I believe, that when that was done, they were gonna come back several years later and redo those, and I know we haven't got that far yet, so. You'll see their ratings in there are number 1, so they need done.
Understood.
Bit of a mess up there, for sure. It has been.
I guess my thought process is that as we move forward, we really need to take a look at our budget. Figure that's not gonna be just like every other neighborhood,
No.
so.
Well, on a lot of those roads, like with Factory, when we did it, and the next time we do Bunnell Hill, we're gonna have to mill those before we can pave those. Or we're gonna have Harlan Road all over again, and that doubles your price,
Right.
so.
That's all I have.
Okay. Anything else for Road and Park?
No, sir.
Thank you. Police Department, Chief, there's a recommendation to accept a donation of $1,000 to benefit the Police Department from Enterprise PE Product Pipeline.
They've made a habit every year of donating to police and fire. Ours came in just after fire accepted theirs, so we'll just get it on the agenda for you all to accept it. We appreciate their donation.
Very nice. So a motion to approve this and accept this donation.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw? Yay. Mr. Wood?
Anything else, Chief?
No, sir.
Fire District, Chief, anything other than consent agenda stuff?
Yeah, just one thing I thought the board would find interesting, it's in consent agenda, we got our EMS grant this year. Chief Simpson and I sat down today and was looking at our previous grant since 2000, and we've gotten over $3.3 million in grants since 2000. So I thought that would sit down and crunch, I knew it was a lot, but I didn't know what it was, sit and actually figure out how much we've gotten, over 3.3 million. That doesn't count any of the CARES Act money that Mr. Clark mentioned earlier, so that was pretty interesting stat.
Impressive. You guys do a nice job. I know Tim does a good job on that stuff.
He sure does, yeah.
Yeah, when he retires, we're not gonna let him retire from doing that part.
Right. He may come back as a consultant.
Yeah. Actually, I got to consider that.
Tell him it's all pro bono, I mean, they didn't get the grant, we don't.
Typically, they work for 10% of the money they get, so that'd be a pretty good return.
Ooh, well, let's cut him down.
I'm thinking two.
They're looking for the hometown discount.
Yeah, exactly.
I can write the grants.
You already get 30% everything
Yeah.
you do, so I don't think we have.
You mean you'll have your legal aid write the grant, you'll get paid
Yeah,
for it.
exactly. When's the pro bono part start?
That's it, thank you.
Oh, thanks. Well, that's pretty fantastic, really. Very, very nice. Okay, next item is the consent agenda. Anybody have any comments about the consent agenda? There is no comments, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Wood?
Yeah. Staff updates.
Yeah, I've been working on solid waste collection, looking into some of those avenues. There's a couple of different ways to go about it. The more cumbersome way is to create a solid waste district that is separate from the county solid waste district. And there's a little bit of procedural resolution that you have to pass there, and then also details how you, how a opposition movement would call that. Now, the thresholds for putting it on the ballot are pretty high, so I would say it's probably pretty unlikely. You have to have over 50% of the electors in the jurisdiction to be able to get it on the ballot. There's a simpler way to do it, and township is in fact empowered to enter into an exclusive contract with the provider. However, after giving it some considerable thought, and this is a little bit beyond this should not be my decision, but it's my recommendation for the light of upcoming efforts, that perhaps we tap the brakes on the solid waste district for now, and look to try to find some of those savings a little later in the year, get it in place maybe for next year.
No, I got you. A lot going on.
That's what I would like to save people money right here, right now, save the township money, frankly. Because a lot of those exclusive arrangements come with cost-free pickup for all township facilities, including this building, parks, the garage, fire station, that sort of thing.
You know, that has been a contentious issue over the years, and right now we don't need a lot of contentious issues.
That's been my understanding as well. But I am glad to do what the board wishes. But I just want to let you know that I've been working on that.
Did you talk to Rumpke to see if they had would consider a rate decrease?
They wouldn't let me speak on behalf of the individual agreements they have with citizens. I did go that avenue, but they didn't really bite on it.
So then is Miami Township in a conglomerate?
No, Miami Township.
But they renegotiated
created their own solid waste district in the early 90s.
Well, we've left ours in the open market.
Correct.
So it's saying that Miami Township has one?
Correct.
That's how it's sitting.
Yeah, they're exclusive.
Correct.
My understanding is waste management is pulling away from residential. I did some research while I was looking around for, Portland.
I surveyed our employees, or at least the employees that I knew that lived in the township. Frankly, what waste management charges per quarter, it looks as though their price, to your point, is kind of a go-away price, but some people still do it. Rumpke is, even at their retail rates that they charge our residents, Rumpke's considerably cheaper than waste management. Just for perspective, Rumpke's rates under the exclusive agreements that they have with the city of Miami Township is more than half of what the regular retail rate is for our residents, for our employees that live in the township. It's just under $40, and the average employees run between $85 and $90 a quarter.
I paid $93. That's also, recycling.
Mine's 88, I think. I get that senior discount.
I'll stick with what I got. I'll cover the extra $5 just for you. Grandma used to burn hers and take the metal stuff to the IGA on Tuesdays.
There is no question, there are a lot of savings to be had, but at this point in time, I think it's a long risk to it.
Well, I think we ought to delay it here just a few months and then jump back on. But we don't have to. What do you guys think?
We can wait. That's what makes the most sense.
I think,
I feel it does.
well, it's encouraging with some of the information that you found. I did not know that, until this was brought up, I didn't realize that we were getting rain.
That's a technical term.
Overpaying.
Like after that first year at your deal with Spectrum Cable.
Yeah.
Oh, now I'm paying $250, okay, thanks.
Yeah, you pay a lot for garbage collection.
I guess we are.
And they won't even come back my driveway to get it, I gotta take it all the way out there.
That is, by the way, that's one component in the contracts that I have well-written proposals that I've seen, is that they do in fact offer house-to-curb service for elderly residents that live at home. So if folks are unable.
Well, you go, man, good for you.
Now,
They
see,
can come back to your
now
driveway.
you're trusting my word.
There's a I don't want them on my driveway.
I was gonna say, I don't either. I just got a new one and I don't want them to bust it up.
But they do offer that, so just so you know that, they do offer that service for folks that, might find it difficult to do the transfer side.
Yeah, they do that for a couple of my friends.
Well, more to come on that, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, excellent. You might want to, contact, I'm sure you probably have, in touch with the person that sent us the email.
Yes, I should circle back with her when I'm back.
You're on it, but it's gonna be a little bit. Good enough.
It'll be great to see something like that.
No, I think. Now, after I was chastised by her for not responding, I sent her a nice one, and she was very complimentary, but I think.
It's always interesting when those come back and I'm like, we can't even talk to each other about why we didn't respond or did respond, so, sorry.
Yeah. Anything else? Anybody have anything else? Matt, staff, anybody else?
Just something real
Yes, sir.
quick. Carl with the Disc Golf Association for Dayton that's been helping us out at the park. He, just to give you an update, they got the tournament out there at the end of the month. He's already got 30-some pros signed up from all over the country that want to come to that. And he's also going to, probably after that, would like to come to a meeting and just give you guys an update and let you know what he's finding out. And still getting all the baskets donated and all that good stuff. And he's having, I didn't know this, but he informed me the other day that the house that we rent, that's currently how this whole thing started out there with Mr. Hoffman. The gentleman that lived there was playing in his backyard in a disc, and Hoffman seen him, and that kind of spiraled, and apparently that guy has a huge thing now and has a logo, and so he's going to have their graphic designers make up 3 logos to incorporate Clear Creek Township and Hoffman and all that, and present them to see if you guys would accept any of them to put around the top of some of the baskets out there and to honor Bill and some other stuff. So he's going to come and talk to you at some point later in the year. And if you have anything you'd like him to have prepared, I can get with him and let him know what to maybe bring if you may have questions to talk to you about and being more informed about what's going on and where we're at. And his thought process is it'll still be top 3 in the state. And he hopes to have a big opening day next year sometime.
Cool. Yeah, if you've never seen it, it's pretty fun event.
I've been working hard on it. Ryan took me for a ride around the course last week. It was pretty impressive how much work has been done on it. It's coming together.
Yeah, great. That's great. Anything else? Anybody have anything? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Gabbard?
Yay.
Mr. Mearsclaw?
Yay.
Mr. Wick?
Yeah.